Hey guys, Panzer J back here in Operation 20 Corps. We're up to turn 8.7 for Italy. It is January 1940. So before we get into the Italian turn, I just wanted to go over a little bit of housekeeping from Germany 8.1. So I had a couple of mistakes, not too terrible, I guess. The first one here in A-18, I forgot to roll for the two defending British ships on escort duty. That was a torpedo boat destroyer and a destroyer. The second mistake was here in Normandy. I rolled an infantry for Pete defending at a 4. It got a 5, and I counted it as a hit. So I did get one unit back from the battle in Normandy, which was a light armor. And then finally in Warsaw, I completely screwed that battle up. First of all, I counted a river penalty against myself, which I shouldn't have. And then for some reason, I shot 3 times with my AAA against his single fighter. It should have only been one shot. And then I really don't know what happened, but on the Polish portion of round 1, I forgot to roll for the 2 militia and the 2 infantry. So those were the mistakes. The outcome... well, not so good for me. So here in A-18, the torpedo boat destroyer could only hit on a 1 or 2. It rolled a 1, so killed one of my subs. Then in Poland, the 2 militia at 3s and the 2 infantry at 5s, the 4 of them rolled 2 1s. So not only were they hits, they were target select and took out 2 of my cavalry. And then for... my AAA, when I had rolled 3 die, I got a 1, 2, and I don't know, the other one was a miss, but I had basically gotten 2 hits, so I had a 2, so when we PBE'd all these results, I had a 2/3 chance of still taking out the fighter, and of course I didn't. So basically, PBE for that turn, the PB basically stood for please bend over in my case, because I took it right in the can on the PBE results, to say the least. Okay, so let's get on to Italy. 8.7. The Italians have 10 IPP to spend. We're going to spend 8 of it. 2 militia for 4. A colonial for 4, that's 8. We're going to save $2. Okay, for our tech rolls, where we've got 1 tech roll, it's going to be for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher, and that's sitting at stage 1. So let's see what we got. A 12, we do succeed. So, Italian tech program coming back a little bit now. So we move to stage 2 for long range. Okay, the big news, we do actually have combat. So Italy is going to declare war on the United Kingdom and France. So before we get into the combat, my thinking with that is that, you know, I know a lot of times Italy is kept on the sidelines till later in the war, but, I mean, I got to thinking, when is England the most vulnerable? And that's earlier in the game before the United States enters the war. So, you know, let's go ahead, bring Italy in. I know it's risky, but let's see if we can put as much pressure on the UK as possible before the US can help back them up. So that's kind of my thinking here. And with that in mind, we have 9 combats this turn, which I think might be the most I've ever seen Italy engage in one turn. The first is the most risky, but again, if you're going to bring Italy in, I guess it's going to take a little bit of luck to succeed. So we're going to go down into Cape Town. So Pete has an infantry in a city, so it's going to be defending at a 5. So here in I-4, we're going to bring our entire Italian fleet down 1, 2. So on the naval transport that's part of that fleet, a Marine and an infantry from Italian Somaliland are going to get dropped off in Cape Town. And then we're going to shore bombard with a battleship at 4 and a heavy cruiser at a 2. Okay, so that's battle 1. Battle 2 is here in Tanganyika. That's a walk-on. It's not worth anything. We're going to take the 2 artillery from Italian Somaliland. We're going to take 3 of the 5 cavalry from Italian Somaliland. And we're going to take 3 of the remaining 4 infantry from Italian Somaliland. Battle 3 is another walk-on in Sudan. We're going to take The 2 remaining cavalry in Italian Somaliland go 1-2, and it can move through the mountains there in Abyssinia. Battle 4 is another walk-on. We're going to go up into Nubia with the 2 infantry and the 2 mountain infantry from Eritrea. Battle 5 is another walk-on. We're going to take the remaining infantry in Italian Somaliland up 1 there. It's not worth anything. Battle 6, we're going to go 1 infantry from Tobruk is going to move over to Western Egypt. Take that. Battle 7 is our 3 coastal subs coming over to M8 to convoy raid the British there. Battle 8 is our seaplane in Sardinia going 1-2, convoy raiding the British in M4. And finally, Battle 9 is another convoy raiding. Our fleet sub that was part of the fleet here in I-4 came down 1-2 and is going to go ahead and convoy raid there in I-1. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's hopefully, after getting completely PBE'd, or as Bruce would say, PBF'd last turn, I deserve a little bit of good luck. So first we have a shore bombardment with a battleship at a 4, a 6 misses, and a heavy cruiser at a 2. Ooh, yes, a 2 does hit. So we go ahead and kill off the infantry in Cape Town without firing a shot from our infantry. So the Marine and the infantry get offloaded into Cape Town, and that's worth $1 for Italy. Battle 2 was a walk-on in Tanganyika, not worth anything. Battle 3, a walk-on in Sudan, not worth anything. Battle 4, a walk-on in Nubia, worth $1. So that's $2. Battle 5, a walk-on in British Somaliland, not worth anything. Battle 6, a walk-on in Western Egypt, worth $1. That's up $3. And the rest is convoy raiding. So before I forget, let's go ahead and move Italy up from 10 to 13. And the British down from 28 to 25. Okay, so let's go ahead and convoy raid. The seaplane, I think that's just a +1. So Italy's going to be green. The British are going to be red. So let's go ahead with the seaplane at a +1. Nothing. The British win that 5-4. Okay, we've got 3 coastal subs. All I believe are +1 in M8. So the first coastal sub at a +1. Nothing. The second coastal sub, a whopping $1. And the third coastal sub. 5-2, that's 6-2. So that's 4. So 5 damage. I think that line takes 6. I've got it, of course, ships are covering it, but we did 5 damage on that line. And down here, I think I only can take 1. I'm not sure if this one up here, this Indian Ocean line, is part of that, but at least we can take 1 off the East Africa line at least. So, okay, let's go ahead. We get +2 for this sub. Okay, so that's 8-2, so we at least take the 1 or possibly 2 off of, well, that one would come off of the FEC, but at least 1. So I'll just mark it down as 1. The guys will know what to do there. Okay, so that should be it for the British as far as combat. How about let's do non-combat. This fighter in Tobruk is going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in Italian Somaliland with those other planes. And actually, I think that's it. I do believe that is it. Oh, I got to land the seaplane. So the seaplane is going to land 1 into Tobruk. Okay, for unit placement, our colonial infantry is going to go in Italian Somaliland, and 2 militia, 1 on Sardinia and 1 on Sicily. And that should be it for the Italians. So, let's income. We're at 13 and we saved 2, so that's $15. I don't believe Italy, I didn't even bother to check, honestly, but I don't think they have any bonuses. If I do, I'll adjust it later. So let's do a unit recap. So in Cape Town, we have a Marine and an Infantry. In Tanganyika, we have 2 artillery, 3 infantry, 3 cavalry. Sudan is 2 cavalry. Nubia is 2 infantry, 2 mountain infantry. Eritrea is a militia. British Somaliland's an infantry. Italian Somaliland's a militia, a colonial infantry, 3 fighters, and a tactical bomber. The fleet in I-1 consists of a battleship, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, 4 destroyers, a torpedo boat destroyer, a fleet sub, and a naval transport. Western Egypt has an infantry. Cyrenaica has a militia. Tobruk has a seaplane, 2 infantry, and a motorized infantry. M8 has 3 coastal subs. Tripoli has a militia. Sardinia, Sicily, and southern Italy all have militias, 1 militia apiece. Rome has 3 militia, and northern Italy has 2 infantry. So that should be it for Italy here on turn 8.7. Turning things over now to Hambone in the United States KMT.